Hello children, again today we are present over here with a new topic, that is gametogenesis in males. So today by this chapter we are going to study and we are going to see that how the gametogenesis is done in males. So in females, the gametogenesis, the formation of gametes, we will discuss later on, but today let us discuss about how the gametes are formed, that is how the sperm cells are formed in the males. So here let us begin. See, here you can see very well that this is the process. Which process? Gametogenesis is the process by which primary sex organs, that is testis in the males and ovaries in the females, produce the sperms or ovum respectively. Sperms are produced by the testis in males and ovum is produced by the ovaries in females. So today let us see that how the testis of the males, they undergo gametogenesis, how they form the gamete cells. Let us discuss it in detail. Okay. Now, as you can see spermatogenesis. This is the process by which immature germ cells, which cells? Immature germ cells, germinating cells in the seminiferous tubules of male testis starts producing sperms, and it starts at the onset of puberty. You can see here, this is the cross section of testis. This is the testis, and within the testis you can see here these lobes are there. These lobes are there. Within these lobes, these seminiferous tubules are there. So if you see one seminiferous tubule in a magnified way, in a magnified orientation, if you see this seminiferous tubule, this seminiferous tubule is lined with, inside the seminiferous tubule, the inner walls of seminiferous tubule, they are formed of germinal cells, germinal tissue or germinal cells. And these germinal cells in the male testis within the seminiferous tubules, they start producing the sperms. And this spermatogenesis in the males, it starts on the onset of puberty. What is puberty? Puberty means adolescence. At the age of 11 years, this puberty, it starts, and the male reproductive organs, that is the testis, this testis, it starts undergoing some maturation and it starts producing the gametes, that is the sperms. Okay. So now let us see over here that what is spermatogenesis and the stages of spermatogenesis. See here the stages of spermatogenesis, let us discuss. The first stage is called as spermatocytogenesis. The first stage is called as spermatocytogenesis. Spermato and cytogenesis means the formation of sperm cells. Cyto means cells and formation of sperm cells. Genesis means formation. Sperms are the gametes and cyto means the cells. So when the formation of sperm cells, the genesis, the synthesis of the sperm cell takes place, it is called as spermatocytogenesis. See here, what is this? This is initiated, this is started by the division of spermatogonia. What are spermatogonia? Here you can see these are spermatogonia. You can see here these are spermatogonia. These cells, they are spermatogonia, where I am marking in red color. These cells are spermatogonia. And these spermatogonia, you can see here, these spermatogonia on the germinal cuboidal epithelium layer inside seminiferous tubule, spermatogonia cells which are present in the inner wall of the seminiferous tubule, they start mitotic division. They start undergoing mitotic division. See here, these are the spermatogonia cells. These are the primordial, or these are the, you can say, you can consider them also that these are the spermatogonia cells. So whatever this spermatogonia cell is there, it is going to divide into two cells by mitosis. The first stage is mitosis. By mitosis, it is dividing. the spermatogonia is dividing by mitosis. Spermatogonia is dividing by mitosis. So when the spermatogonia divides by mitosis, it forms primary spermatocyte. It forms primary spermatocyte. Okay. So when it is forming the primary spermatocyte, this primary spermatocyte is a diploid cell. Which cell? It is a diploid cell. Diploid cell means it is having full number of chromosomes as a normal cell of a male or a human is having. That is normal number of chromosomes it is having, that is 46 number of chromosomes. That is, it is a 2n cell, diploid cell. It is a diploid cell. Okay. Primary spermatocytes which are formed by the spermatogonia, the spermatogonia is going to undergo the mitosis and it is going to form the daughter cells. These daughter cells, they are having 46 number of chromosomes. They are having 46 number of chromosomes, and these two cells are called as diploid cells. Which cells? Diploid cells. So what you have studied right now, that spermatogonia cells, they divide by mitosis and form primary spermatocyte. So first procedure, the first step in spermatocytogenesis, that is the formation of the primary spermatocytes from spermatogonia by the process of mitosis, and these primary spermatocytes are diploid cells with 46 chromosomes. Hope it is clear. Now next stage is meiosis 1. Very important, children, very important. This is meiosis 1. Okay, so whatever the primary spermatocyte you can see here, this primary spermatocyte is now going to undergo the reductional phase of division. This is the primary spermatocyte. Primary spermatocyte. This primary spermatocyte is going to have the meiotic division. And what it is going to do, it is going to divide in the meiosis 1 into two daughter cells. Meiosis 1 will make the primary spermatocyte to divide into two daughter cell with half number of chromosomes. How many chromosomes? With half number of chromosomes. Okay. So in meiosis 1, when a cell is going to divide, it is forming two daughter cells, and these two daughter cells are going to have half number of chromosomes. These are haploid cells. These two cells are haploid cells, and they will have 23 and 23 chromosomes. Though this parent cell, which was a primary spermatocyte, it was having 46 chromosomes. But here these two daughter cells which have 23 chromosomes, after the meiosis 1, they are called as secondary spermatocytes. So the secondary spermatocytes are the cells which are formed from the primary spermatocytes by the process of meiosis 1. Hope it is clear what it is saying. Again, let us see that by the meiosis 1, the primary spermatocytes undergo meiosis 1. By the meiosis 1, primary spermatocytes divide by meiosis 1 and form two daughter cells with half number of chromosomes, that is they have 23 chromosomes, and these cells, the daughter cells which are formed after the meiosis 1, they are called as secondary spermatocytes. They are called as secondary spermatocytes. Hope it is clear. They are called as secondary spermatocytes. Now next, meiosis 2. Let us talk about meiosis 2. See, meiosis 2 is very important. Why it is important? Because now these secondary spermatocytes, they are going to undergo meiosis 2. The secondary spermatocytes which are formed by meiosis 1 from the primary spermatocyte, whatever the secondary spermatocytes were formed by meiosis 1, now in meiosis 2, these primary spermatocytes will undergo successive division, and whatever these secondary spermatocytes are there, two secondary spermatocyte cells were formed with 23 and 23 chromosomes. Now what will happen? These cells, they will divide into four daughter cells. They are going to divide into four daughter cells. This is 1, this is 2, and here again this is 1, this is 2. So 1, 2, 3 and 4 daughter cells we have, and they all have 23, 23, 23 and 23 chromosomes. Okay, hope now it is clear. And these cells which are formed, the 4 cells which are formed, they are called as spermatids. These cells are formed, are called as spermatids. These cells are formed, they are called as spermatids. These cells, you can see here, these formed cells are called as spermatids. Hope it is clear. And how they are formed? They are formed by meiosis 2. Meiosis 2 is a reductional division. Here the chromosome number is reduced. In meiosis 1 and meiosis 2, the chromosome number is reduced. That is from 46, it is going to be 23, 23 and 23 everywhere. Hope you people are understanding. And these spermatids are formed. After the meiosis 2, whatever the cells they are divided, they are called as spermatids. One thing you have to note down, children, that whatever the spermatids are there, spermatids have 23 chromosomes. These 23 chromosomes, they are like this. 22 will be the normal chromosomes, and one chromosome, either it will be X or one chromosome it will be either Y. So like this, the total 23 chromosomes will be there. Hope you people are understanding this also. Next, let us proceed. Now, spermiogenesis. What is the process called as spermiogenesis? What do you mean by spermiogenesis? Let us see. See, children, that the conversion of spermatids into the mature sperms is called as spermiogenesis. What it is saying? The conversion, the process of conversion of spermatids. You can see here that whatever the spermatids are there, these spermatids, when they become the sperms, you can see, when they become the sperms, this is called as spermiogenesis. What is spermiogenesis? When the spermatids are converted into sperms, this is called as spermiogenesis. Okay? Are you understanding? It is called as spermiogenesis. Now, here by mistake it has been written deformed. Here it will be the formed. The formed sperms contain head, neck, middle piece and a tail. So, suppose there is a sperm cell. So, it will be having a head. This is head. It will have a neck. It will have a middle piece. This is middle piece. And a tail. This is a tail. Hope you people are getting. See here. This process of spermiogenesis utilizes lot of energy. So here whatever the spermatids were there, when they became sperms, they lost all their energy. So now these sperms, they need energy for the survival. These sperms, they need survival energy. They need some energy for the survival. So the formed sperms have low energy and other nutrients, and to get charged, to get the energy again, they get embedded into the Sertoli cells. Suppose this is a Sertoli cell. So the head of the sperm will be embedded in this. The head of the sperm will be embedded in this Sertoli cell. This is Sertoli cell. This is Sertoli cell. And this is here sperm cell. So sperm cell head will be always embedded, and this is happening within the seminiferous tubule, children. It is still here in the seminiferous tubule. Okay, to get the energy, the sperms are embedded with their heads in the Sertoli cells. Hope you people are understanding. Now let us talk about the hormones which are responsible for the spermatogenesis. Let us talk about the hormones. The hormones which are responsible for the spermatogenesis. Which hormones are there? Which hormones are playing important role? Let us see. See children, there is one hormone called as GnRH. What is GnRH? Gonadotropin releasing hormone. Which hormone? Gonadotropin releasing hormone, which is secreted by hypothalamus of the brain. Here, which is released by the hypothalamus of the brain. So this GnRH, when it increases in its amount, what it happens when the GnRH, gonadotropin GnRH, when its concentration increases, it activates pituitary gland. Okay, it activates pituitary gland. This pituitary gland, this is here pituitary gland, you can see here, this is here pituitary gland, this is pituitary gland. So whatever the hypothalamus is there, this hypothalamus, when it secretes GnRH, that is gonadotropin releasing hormone. Whatever the gonadotropin releasing hormone is there, when its concentration increases, when the GnRH concentration increases in the hypothalamus of the brain, it is increased by the secretion of hypothalamus in the brain. When the GnRH increases, it activates pituitary gland to secrete LH, that is luteinizing hormone, and FSH. Okay, when the GnRH concentration secreted by the hypothalamus is increasing, it activates the pituitary gland, and in turn this pituitary gland is going to secrete the LH, that is luteinizing hormone, and follicular stimulating hormone, FSH. Now let us talk about this one in detail. So see here that LH, that is the luteinizing hormone, it helps the Leydig cell. L for luteinizing hormone, L for Leydig cell, it helps the Leydig cell to form testosterone. So when the testosterone is going to be formed, this will help the males to undergo gametogenesis. So LH, that is luteinizing hormone, is very important for the formation of the testosterone by the Leydig cell. So LH, luteinizing hormone, helps the Leydig cell to form testosterone, which is responsible for the gametogenesis. Now next let us talk about, same way, whatever the pituitary gland was there, pituitary gland was also secreting follicular stimulating hormone. These follicular stimulating hormone cells, they help to mature the spermatids into sperms. Whatever the spermatids are there, they turn into the sperms by the help of follicular stimulating hormone. Okay, you can see here, this is hypothalamus. So within the hypothalamus, when the GnRH level is increasing, what it is doing? It is helping the pituitary gland to get activated, and when this pituitary gland gets activated, it releases LH hormone, that is luteinizing hormone, and it also releases FSH, that is the follicular stimulating hormone. When the LH is increasing in its concentration, the Leydig cell, they get activated, which produce the testosterone hormone, and the Leydig cell help in formation of testosterone hormone, which helps in gametogenesis. Whereas when the follicular stimulating hormone is produced by the pituitary gland, when the FSH, follicular stimulating gland, is produced by the pituitary gland, it helps the Sertoli cells. Here I am writing Sertoli cells. It helps the Sertoli cells to form the germ cells. Sertoli cells help the spermatids to convert into sperms. So first, what is happening? Hypothalamus gets activated and the GnRH level increases. And when the GnRH level increases, pituitary gland gets activated. And when the pituitary gland gets activated, it releases two hormones, LH hormone and FSH hormone. LH hormone helps the Leydig cell to form testosterone, whereas the FSH hormone helps the Sertoli cells to form the spermatids into sperm cells. Hope it is clear. Now next let us see, whatever the mature spermatozoa is there. Let us talk about the structure of the sperm. Structure of the sperm. Let us talk about structure of the sperm. What is happening? See, a mature sperm is containing what? It is containing four main parts, four main or four major parts. A mature sperm or spermatozoa also called as sperm, is containing four major parts. It is having which four major parts? Let us talk about. See, it is having a head, a neck, a middle piece, and a tail. This is a head, this is a neck, this is a middle piece, and this is a tail. So you can see very well. Okay. Now let us see all these in detail. But before that, you should remember that this, whatever this sperm cell is there, this is surrounded by a plasma membrane. This full portion is surrounded by a plasma membrane. Around this, a plasma membrane is also there. Okay. Now let us talk about what is head. See, what is head? Head comprises of a top cap called as acrosome. Here, this is the head. This is the head portion. This is the head portion. This head is containing one part. This is the cap portion. This is called as acrosome. This is called as acrosome. So what is acrosome? Acrosome is the cap, top cap of the sperm cell, and it is having lysine enzymes. Which enzymes? Lysine enzymes. These lysine enzymes, they help to degenerate the ovum membrane. Suppose this is the ovum. This is the ovum. This ovum is having lot of membranes. So when this sperm is going to penetrate this, so first of all, its acrosome should release some lysine enzymes which should degenerate this outer membrane, and the sperm should enter into it to fertilize it. I hope you people are understanding. Now, next let us talk about, so this much is clear, that the head comprises of a top cap called as acrosome with the lysine enzyme, and this lysine enzyme degenerates the ovum membrane for the entry of sperm. Now, head also comprises less amount of cytoplasm. This head portion is also having less amount of cytoplasm, and due to less amount of cytoplasm, it is having a large haploid cell. It is having a large haploid nucleus. This is a large haploid nucleus over here, because here the cytoplasm amount is less. So all the place where the cytoplasm is less, there the nucleus, the haploid nucleus is controlling that area. It is covering that area. Now here the acrosome is made up of Golgi bodies. So here let us talk about this acrosome is made up of Golgi bodies. This acrosome portion is made up of Golgi bodies. This acrosome is made up of Golgi bodies. And the neck of sperm contains centrioles. Neck of sperm. This is the neck of sperm. This is the neck of sperm. It is containing centrioles. This is the portion containing centrioles. What are centrioles? You know very well. Centrioles are the organelles which help in the cell division. Okay. Now, the middle piece. Let us talk about the middle piece. See here. This is the middle piece. You can see here. This portion is the middle piece. So you have to draw this diagram and you have to mark all these. This middle piece is also sometimes called as mid piece. Okay. This middle piece is having mitochondria within this portion. It is having mitochondria. Here the mitochondria are present. And these mitochondria, what they do? They provide energy. Mitochondria are called as the powerhouse of the cell. So they provide energy to the sperm. So this tail is going to move. And this tail is going to move by the energy provided by mitochondria. Next, let us talk about the tail. See, the tail is a central filament, central axial filament. This tail, this portion, this tail is a central axial filament. This is the central axial filament, this tail. And this tail shows a flagellar movement. This tail shows a flagellar movement like this. And due to this flagellar movement, due to the movement of this tail, this sperm is going to move in the forward direction. Okay, you can see here the tail helps the tail helps the sperm to reach the ampulla of the fallopian tube. The fallopian ampulla, the ampulla of the fallopian tube is getting fertilization. There the fertilization occurs. Okay, in the ampulla of the fallopian tube, the fertilization process occurs. So the sperms, after the ejaculation, going through the vagina, going through the cervix region, and from there going to the uterus, they have to go to the fallopian tube's ampulla. They have to go to the fallopian tube's ampulla. Why they have to go to the fallopian tube's ampulla? For the fusion, for the fertilization, for the fusion with the ovum. For the fusion with the ovum. Okay, so the sperms mix. So this much is clear. So this tail of the sperm helps it to move and to reach to the fallopian ampulla. You can see here that children, whatever the sperms are there, they have to mix with the semen. They have to mix with some fluid so as to show the mobility. Because all alone the sperms cannot move and they cannot come out through the urethra, and they cannot go from the penis of the male to the female vagina. They can't go like that. So they need some fluid. And semen is a fluid. This is released by some accessory ducts of the male reproductive system. It is released from the seminal vesicles. The semen is released from the seminal vesicles. It is released from the bulbourethral glands. It is also released from the prostate gland, and lot of fluids. They get mixed together. They are called as semen. And when the semen is getting mixed with the sperms, and the sperms, when they get mixed with the semen, they have a fluidity. Fluidity means they can flow very easily. Okay, now at a time 200 to 300 sperms are released in an ejaculation. During an ejaculation 200 to 300 sperms are released. Okay, during an ejaculation, during an intercourse, during a coitus, 200 to 300 sperms are released. Okay, hope this portion was clear to you and you are continuing your studies. You are busy with the protocols and norms of COVID-19. You have to reduce the risk of COVID-19 infection. You have to wash your hands after certain time interval with soap and water, or either you can sanitize the things with the help of sanitizer. You have to cover your mouth while sneezing and coughing. You have to maintain the social distancing, and you have to stay at home, and you have to follow what the government is saying. Meanwhile, you have to study and you have to be thorough with your material. Thank you.